A Light Within Darkness Chapter 75, Fan Fiction by Azazyel. Similar to Tyranid's method of travel in compressing gravity and space itself, my ship did the same, but less of making a gravity well of a wormhole between targets of interest, as instead my ship simply compressed the space it was traveling in the direction it was heading in. As the void of space compared to the dense atmosphere of a habitable world was comically easy to manipulate, with how empty it was. My ship, with its systems that ran off arcane glyphs powered by solar winds and astral phenomenon, made the trip to Armageddon in a great time, to be fair. Though honestly, without Ellesmere here with me, the week trip was truly kind of boring in the worst ways, but I was at least able to cultivate and make the time pass by quickly while in meditation. The only issues were as the closer I got to Armageddon, the more damned orc ships I kept running into, and my ship, although having its weapon systems, wasn't a ship built with battle in mind, so I had to ignore the green boys demanding we fight to warm up for Armageddon. Damned orcs. Finally, though, after continuously dodging around the orcs I reached the planet of Armageddon. From the scans from the ship, it looked like the planet was a mostly desert or arid badlands, as the world was dotted with massive city-like structures dotting across its surface, with the planet's past oceans having been drained away along with their freshwater rivers and lakes. So, a typical hive world basically. Oi, you knife ear git. What you doing there? A orc show you to yelled at me from another ship, and I visibly closed my eyes to take a breath as I reminded myself why I was here. Then I embraced the stupid. I called upon my chi, and as I stood on the bridge looking out the window, I called out with my voice, carrying in the chaotic warp-filled surroundings. I came here to get the treasure from the biggest warboss there is. I declared and then continued. I'ma kill a bunch of those red-covered pointy lads so Gazkul gives me some treasure for letting him kill Ongron easy like. I said, slipping into the brain-dead vocabulary of the orcs. I had embraced the tard. Become the fool. I was one of the boys now. Oh, a fancy lad wants to help kill dem world eaters, let me through boys, he just wants to join the WHHH. He roared with the wag call being mirrored by many other orcs to the point that their call for battle carried upon the tides of a very Empyrean, and I had to shake my head at just how to bullshit their collective energy field was. After a bit more conversation, or more like shouting, I got directions from the shouter about what part of the planet to head towards, so I had the ship systems send a torpedo at the orc ship. But instead of a missile or whatever, it instead sent a large tube filled with nice and yellow Tyranid teeth as repayment for the shouter's help in not causing issues. Because, for whatever the hell reason, teeth, especially yellow ones, were the currency of orcs, except for using weapons to trade between themselves. Orcs saw the color yellow as being a sign of value, so teeth fell into being their currency somehow. Even as I landed on the planet, I was already being shot at with the ship's energy shields taking a beating as I was being fucking shot at World Eater's demon and siege engines, orcs put together anti-air weapons, and the signature loss weapons that humans used. But being anti-air guns, they were actually shooting powerful lasers, which thankfully was only fueling the ship systems, so with an evil smile, I decided to make my greetings to this damned planet. You guys were the dumbass who named this world Armageddon. I hissed as I finally did it. I punched the obscenely large red button next to the laser battery control system. And my ship's trump card was used on the large burning hive city beneath me. An orb of jet black light, highlighted with screaming bright blue lights, formed on the edge of the ship, and then with a roar, the orb of light violently shot forward into becoming a beam of compressed spatial energies that, once it reached the hive city below me, exploded beyond the concept of violently. My ship's trump card was a beam of compressed spatial energies enriched with stupid amounts of dense gravity that would pull things into the spatial beam, which would then be annihilated into nothingness by the violent spatial energies similar to when antimatter met actual matter and would annihilate itself from existence. Within moments, the beam of destruction literally carved a line through the entire massive hive city that was 100+ miles wide, but after that my ship was running almost dead on fuel, so the ship dived down almost at a 90-degree angle to avoid the concentrated fire aimed at it as I landed on a wide-open ship's landing pad atop one of the hive city's spires. I forgot how damned big these hive cities are. How the hell am I going to find Gazkul and Ongron here on this damned planet? I muttered as I put my shrunken-down ship into my spatial bag so it could absorb the energy-rich stones within to recharge while I was down on the planet. But as though in the answer to my question, the glorious green lads roared from a couple of levels below, and I heard their junk guns roar as they shot at the roaring figures of some charging world eaters that sprinted at them with beyond superhuman speeds, armed with massive axes that had large chainsaw-like teeth built into the blade of the axe. Taking out my sword, I paused for a second as I considered who I should be killing. The Chaos Space Marines who fought for the Chaos God Khorne. Or the pillaging orcs who were fighting because that was their state of being. I realized and shrugged as in reality. I just need to kill them all, I laughed at the simplicity, and I stepped off the border of the landing pad and fell down upon the orcs and world eaters below with my sword already dancing in the air, sending arcing blades of sword intent that split orc and world eaters apart with no distinction.